That is the Atlanta Falcons, -5 million in cap space. We're seeing a theme here. NFC South not being too responsible with their money, but yet
Not great
again,
spenders there in the South. There, yeah.
here we go. I will off the bat say I think moving Kyle Pitts would be a good idea. I think a fresh start for him, a fresh start for you. I don't know if he fits this roster much anymore, especially with Michael Penix taking over. I think you might see them commit to the run a little bit more and kind of play a little more play action, get Penix and that athleticism out on the perimeter, get him running the ball a little bit, get him bringing the safeties up, stuff like that. You have a great backfield. And so I think more of an inline tight end might fit their offense a little better instead of just an enormous wide receiver that's only kind of good in Kyle Pitts. I'll say it off the bat. But Justin Simmons worked there. So bring him back. Why not? You have him in the building. He worked well with Jesse Bates. That's a strength of yours. If you can retain it, then retain it, please. Besides him, I think you're gonna take a couple of shots here. The first one is Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick was in China for half the year last year. Literally went to his press conference, went to China, did not come back until like week 8. And so Hassan Reddick was gone. When he did come back, didn't do much of anything. But he's just a year or two away from being a 17-sack guy. And so I think you take a shot here because you need pass rush. The Atlanta Falcons last year needed pass rush before the draft, before last year's offseason. And they failed to address that. And so I think you bring in Hassan Reddick. Maybe I'm overdoing it here, but Hassan Reddick is the first of 3 moves I'm making in the pass rush area. Nate Hobbs, the other guy, we like Nate Hobbs. We talked about him. I think he would be a slam dunk if you could land him here for a cheap contract. So far, how do you like the defense with Simmons, Reddick, and Hobbs?
I like Simmons a lot. Obviously, I'm a Bronco fan, so I've seen him play his entire career. He played well last year too. He's a very good. He's a professional safety, which is what you need when you're trying to change the culture. Nate Hobbs, obviously, we talked about it earlier. I love Nate Hobbs. He's a very good corner. Put him opposite AJ Terrell, maybe even in that nickel spot. This Falcons team is the roster is good, and just a few maneuvers here. Obviously, Reddick is a tough sell for me. I didn't see a lot last year, but it couldn't be worse than what you had in 2024. It was bottom bare. It was very bad. So you have to take shots and risks. And Reddick, for all he's off the field, he's a very good athlete, and maybe in the right system, he might regain that talent.
My next one here. Well, I'll go to the draft first. I think you draft Shamar Stewart if you do keep that number 1 pick because you're trading for Trey Hendrickson. I think this is the splash move that the Falcons need to make this offseason. You have the stars on offense already. If Michael Penix is the guy, you're going to need this defense to play so much better than it did last year. And I love Simmons and Reddick and Hobbs and Shamar Stewart, but you need a splash play in that front 7 because you just don't have it so far. AJ Terrell is great. Jesse Bates is amazing. Keeping Justin Simmons and signing Nate Hobbs would be incredible. But if you get Trey Hendrickson in here and then get this young athletic freak Shamar Stewart, a reclamation project, and Hassan Reddick, you get those 3 dogs at rushing the passer. I think people are taking the Falcons a lot more serious.
Yeah, and it also shows your fan base we see a problem and we're gonna fix this problem. So obviously Trey Hendrickson is an absolute stud. Getting him for if the price apparently is a second, if you get him for a second, a guy who can lead the league in sacks, slam dunk. You got Reddick, you got Stewart there in the draft. You're kind of overloading this position. Like we're gonna find someone who works opposite Trey Hendrickson. This is a great move, and like I said with the Saints. This is a very winnable division. This is not a hard division to win. So yeah, I'm all for this.
If they made these moves, would they be the favorite in the South for you?
It's the quarterback question, Penix. I mean it's hard, but they were close last year and they didn't have a pass rush. So if they were to solve that need, year 2 Penix, Bijan Robinson is an absolute stud. Drake London has emerged as one of the better younger wideouts in the league. Maybe you take Kyle Pitts for a pick that you used to go get Trey Hendrickson. So you kind of moved your picks around to get Hendrickson. So yeah, who knows? It's going to be, or would you trade in a deal to sweeten it? Cincinnati, take Kyle Pitts and a second and give us Trey.
Yeah,
That's
for
not
sure.
bad. That's not bad right there.
I do that. I do that in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, this is. Do these? This seems not far off from making the playoffs. So do these moves. I'm on board. I can see it.